guys, Emily here from Signum CrossFit and HSN, and I want to take you through how I go through an InBody results sheet with a client. So here's my results sheets. The first thing I do is I always number them. So this client came in for a free intro session and we did an InBody, which definitely helped her decide to sign up. So I didn't count that one. I start with the first day of our first appointment and I will number it 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth, so that I can easily line them up. The second thing I want to tell you is that I always keep these scans. I don't give them to the client. I tell them they can take a photo or I can make a photocopy, but these are mine to keep, to be able to reference, and I'll show you why in a minute. So the first thing I want to do is I go right to the muscle fat analysis. The dashed line represents the average based on the gender and the height of this individual. So you're going to see these 100%. That's dead in the middle of where this client would want to be for their overall weight, skeletal muscle mass, and body fat mass. They came in, they were a C when I collected those 3 lines. As time went on, they became an I 1 month later, and the last month she was with me, she was a D. So this is like the ideal client situation, kind of rare. But so basically, you know, for her weight, she's right in the average at the 100% mark. That's great. Skeletal muscle mass, again, in the middle, and her body fat mass is also average. So she came to me in a pretty good spot, but she really wanted a more muscular build as opposed to being kind of the highest in fat. So I move down and I look at, I kind of skip over the BMI. The BMI is just, you know, only taking into account your height and your weight. So you could be short and very muscular, and it just kind of throws it off a bit. So I just focus on the body fat percentage. So again, here's our average based on height and gender. We're not going by percentages now in here, we're going by actual amount. So 23% would be right in the middle of ideal for this client. She was at 26. We move down to the segmental lean analysis, and this is going to break down your muscle per segment. So we're looking at arms, legs, and trunk. I always tell clients you want to be at 100% or higher. That means that you have enough muscle to support your overall size. It also helps reduce risk of injury or falling or things like that if you're at 100% or higher. So we definitely track this. I was told by InBody that if I see more than a 6% difference in the percentages between the limbs, that there could be an issue. And whenever I've seen that, I ask them right away, like, is there something up with your right arm? If I see that difference, and they'll say yes, no, you know. So kind of looking for some inflammation or some muscle issues there. At the bottom, it's going to track it for us. I tell them it's going to show us the date, it's going to show us the time. We want you coming in around the same time each time for your scan, and in the same conditions. So if you just had breakfast and 3 to 4 hours later you did your scan, let's repeat that next time you come in to give us the most accurate representation. Then we're going to move up to the top here, the body fat lean body mass control. This is so lovely because it actually tells us, it's a prescription basically. It's saying based on your results and based on the World Health Organization data for someone of your height and gender, we would want you to lose about 4.4 pounds of fat and gain 3.3 pounds of muscle. So it's easily trackable. This is the second time she came in, progress obviously, and the third time. The lean body mass is basically everything except for fat. So if we took her overall weight and subtracted the body fat mass, which is pounds of fat, we would get the lean body mass. Some people say a good guide for amount of protein that you need per day in grams is you could base it on your lean body mass, 1 gram per pound of lean body mass. So she would need around 100 grams of protein. And actually she was on a 13 block plan to start, which is around 95 grams of protein. So basal metabolic rate, I like to tell clients, is the amount of calories you would burn in a day, even if you were laying in bed in a coma doing absolutely nothing, which always blows their mind. So that's a good little tagline to use. And we typically, you know, this is where I like to make sure if she's on a 13 block plan, which is around, you know, 1,225 calories, with the goal of losing some fat. But she's a pretty active person, so that's where that activity factor comes into play. And, you know, the science and the meal plan calculator on the HSN website is super helpful. That's pretty much it. So I just want to show you why I keep them. So I will often, with clients here, I will lay these out for them and just kind of show them the progress that's happening with this C, D, and I. So it's a really awesome visual. It also gives me the body fat mass in pounds, which is not tracked at the bottom here. So I do like to keep track of that and see how much they've lost. I will often write, you know, pounds lost, muscle gains, body fat percentage lost over here on the side, and show them how awesome they're doing with weight going down, skeletal muscle mass going up, and body fat going down. So that's just a quick little tutorial for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions.